At 33 years old, Ted became the youngest Solicitor General in American history, and he would go on to become the longest serving. But Ted didn't just serve. He magnified his role and his position. He didn't just sit back and wait for things to fall into his lap. Cruz sought out conservative constitutional causes that he believed in, and then ferociously fought for them in court. Oh, and by the way, he won. In fact, virtually every single time. Cruz authored 70 United States Supreme Court briefs and presented 43 oral arguments, including 9 before the United States Supreme Court. His record of having argued before the Supreme Court 9 times is more than any practicing lawyer in all of Texas or any current member of Congress. Cruz took on and won some of the biggest and most cases that have been decided by the courts in decades. In the huge Second Amendment case, District of Columbia versus Heller, the one that has changed everything for your right to carry a gun, he drafted the amicus brief that was signed by the Attorney General of 31 different states, which said that the D.C. handgun ban should be struck down as infringing upon the Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms. It was. Cruz also presented the oral argument. Back in 2004, when renowned atheist activist Michael Newdow sued on behalf of his daughter to stop schools from reciting the Pledge of Allegiance because of the one phrase, "One nation under God," was in it. For months, the pledge was not allowed in 9 separate Western states. It was Ted Cruz who wrote the brief on behalf of all 50 states in the Elk Grove Unified School District versus Newdow. He argued that the plaintiff didn't have any standing to file suit on behalf of his daughter. The Supreme Court upheld the position of Cruz's belief. He won. Again. Ted then successfully defended the constitutionality of the 10 Commandments monument on the Texas State Capitol grounds before the Fifth Circuit Court and the U.S. Supreme Court, winning yet again. Then, in 1993, 2 innocent teenage girls in Houston, just 14 and 15 years old, were on their way home from a party around 11. It was a hot summer night. They decided, unfortunately, to take a shortcut through a park near their home. Tragically, they happened to come across a gang of illegal aliens, drinking beer and doing gang initiations. It was there that the 2 young girls were grabbed. They were then beaten, tortured, raped repeatedly, and killed. It's truly one of the most horrific crimes in Houston history. It left a discernible scar on the community. The gang members were all subsequently caught, tried, and convicted. But while on death row, one of the murderers, the leader of the gang, Jose Medellin, got in touch with the Mexican consulate, seeking help in overturning his death sentence. The Mexican consulate got in touch with the then U.S. President George W. Bush, who sided with Mexico against the state of Texas, against the girls. And together, they took Medellin's case to the World Court to overturn his execution. The international courts ruled against Texas and stayed his execution. Texas didn't know what to do.